Hello, Professor Bright here. Welcome back to the Sunless Skies, where this just popped up. We've had an update, the Vagabond update, and I'm curious about this one. St. Dominic Station is thick with crowds of brass band plays. The cause of this excitement is an unfamiliar locomotive in imperial blue, a delicate, gleaming craft whose elongated nose houses an array of lenses. A top-hatted official from the Ministry of Public Decency is delivering a speech, the first of a fleet of new Monitor-class locomotives. They'll be Her Majesty's watchdogs scouring the skies for the enemies of Albion. The crowd cheers. Well, most of them. Interesting. Take a tour of the new engine. If you're willing to wait in line, you might be allowed a few minutes inside. Might be good to know what these do. The Monitor's hull is curved to deflect incoming rounds, but its plating is much lighter than that of a London dreadnought. The bridge is cramped with state-of-the-art sensory equipment. You put your eye to the main scope and it flings your sight through the Monitor's precisely aligned lenses and away to a distant stretch of the sky. The stars are bright and close. You step back, bumping into a control panel. Careful, warns a watchful crewman. That's the gun. Just one, you ask? He grins. Oh, she only needs the one. Curious. Ah, and here's our amiable vagabond. You find him waiting serenely at St. Dominic Station, clay pipe clamped between his teeth. Ah, but sadly no, we cannot. And so we shall ignore his story for now, although perhaps we should read it. You find him waiting serenely at St. Dominic Station, clay pipe clamped between his teeth. He claims to be an expert in snake wrangling, thimble twisting, and stick swinging. He professes to be a psychologist, mythologist, and escapologist. He boasts he can tell stories that'll haunt you until you die, and play tunes that'll make stones dance. If all that fails to entice you, he supposes he could turn his hand to signaling. Could use a signaler, but I don't have any stories for you, friend, unfortunately. Might be able to solve that problem soon. So hello. We're gonna be going to the floating parliament, mostly because that's where we, well, desperately need to go. Deliver our munitions there, maybe cause a bit of trouble as well. We'll see how that turns out. No. And then on to the Royal Society, then to the Clockwork Sun, to the Royal Society once again. Yes, this is the plan. Whether it's a good plan or not, yeah, I mean, we'll find out. We'll play it by ear otherwise. You know, while I'm down there, I should... actually, no. Because we are on a bit of a time limit. We only have the 30 days to go back and forth, and if I recall correctly, going to New Brabazon for their tour takes at least a week. If I recall correctly, I might be wrong. Just because of how time works down there. Although no, it wouldn't take an extra week, it would just take one less week, yes? Time manipulation gets very confusing when you're trying to calculate and make decisions. So, did you find anything for me? Ooh, you did. Surprising. Scout relays its findings, and its findings are potentially interesting. Also noticed a bit of a lag there. A little bit worried about that. Yes, the city of London gives way to its industrial hinterland. What do we got here? Is it something valuable? Oh. They're abandoned now, cold and gray. Requires a saying that I don't have, and I mean, our terror situation is as good as it's gonna get, so hello, storm. The storm that speaks, your crew stop their ears and against the voices on the wind, as numberless as locusts. Well, I must go deeper in, of course. Of course, we must. What choice do we have? How could we not? The storm that speaks. Here in the eye of the storm, the winds ease. You are ringed by scudding clouds. A pallid radiance illuminates your engine like the ghost of sunlight. Purple lightning threads the storm. The voices on the wind clamor until a grumble of irritable thunder stills them. Oh. Aren't you curious? Well, speak to the storm. Lightning flickers in the clouds, shedding gargantuan shadows that tower over your engine. Are there secrets to be learned from the storm? A 12% chance of success. This is a disastrously bad idea. Who could have seen that coming? Also, apparently, according to my achievements, I've pissed off all the gods. Good. A blast of thunder judders your engine, shaking screws loose from plating. The voice in this storm quickly falls silent. Has your impertinence angered the storm that speaks? A stab of admonitory lightning flashes past your engine, missing by pointed inches. A warning, perhaps. So yeah, we're leaving, obviously. The journey back will not be pleasant. You fasten your straps, fire the engines, and head back into the winds and thunder and lightning. So, yeah, apparently I've angered every god. That's traditionally not a problem, right? That usually works out just fine. You're just standard dreadnought. I'm curious about these Albion monitors, though. Oh, well, that's a problem. Hello, trouble. And we're gonna run in with that. Okay. Completely destroyed my, cooling. Oh, there we go. Bound to cause some trouble there. And... oh, come on. You can't dodge like that. It's not allowed. There we go. Star Madden Explorer defeated, and I'm willing to take either of them, so... Things best forgotten. The smell of turpentine hangs in the air. Fresh paint drips from the ceiling, as does a stoker suspended with ropes. We're familiar with this one. The bedsheets have been painted with amateurs' portraits of the dead stoker. In the first few, he is alive. In the latter ones, he is not. Yes, that is unfortunate for them. But also not my problem right now. Part of me says I should go on that tour, but we have higher concerns. Or at least more profitable concerns at the moment. Let's get ourselves to the Parliament, see Lord Rochester, and then go back and collect our reward. Well, hopefully reward. Because if it's 500 sovereigns, I mean, I can't really afford to not grab them. And actually, with all this extra money, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. We shall examine options. Oh. Apparently there's something grave back there. Ah, oh well. London abandons the things she would rather forget. Interesting. I wonder. When they say London abandons the things she would rather forget, are they referring to, well, to her renewed majesty? I wonder. Oh, so this is a wonder, so I should probably... Ho! So you're a monitor, huh? Oh. Crap, I hope that didn't make you hostile. Probably better not to risk it, though. I should kill this. Maybe, maybe not. The very biggest of bends. Oh. It's adorable. My crew are just so adorable sometimes. They really are. Love the deers. They are delightful. At least when they're not, you know, causing trouble. With their mutinies and their... Oh no! The giant monsters are deadly! We should run away from this place! Cowards. Anyway. Enough of that. Empress Gate. Ooh, yeah, she tore you guys a new one. Right here, cause, wow. Okay. Wow. They thoroughly destroyed their parliament, I've gotta say. Nope. Food. Might be food anyway. Oop. There we go. A little bit of awkwardness there in the docking, but it's fine. Cromwell's good. No. Go to the bazaar first. Sell these. And, ooh, I want to, but also would probably be a bad idea. Yeah, let's do it anyway. Oh. Well, this is curious. The Undersecretary asks probing, inexpert questions about the yield, lumens, and decibel of your delivery. I want them to rattle Her Majesty's china, he admits, savagely. Yeah, sure, okay. Ooh, and a moment of inspiration. Very useful, actually. Okay. I can make use of all this. Is there any other stories here that I should pursue? I mean, yes, find the race marshal, obviously. Priorities, yes. Although I would have preferred you hadn't given me those supplies, but oh well. Compiler port report. I don't believe there's much else to do here until I become a minister myself. In time, perhaps, but not today. Yeah, we'll just in that one thing of supplies. Which kind of sucks. Oh, I should have sold it, shouldn't I? Oh, well. Oh, well, that's 28. Yeah, not echoes, sovereigns. 20 sovereigns I won't be getting back. Still. Plentiful supply of tea. And you are very, very killable, especially if you just stay there. So I'm gonna just sneak up on you. Gonna shoot with my gun until you're dead. There we go. Problem solved itself. Now... Tempting, but no. Prize precious stones from its carapace. What do we have? 18 sovereigns. Nothing particularly useful. And again, we've seen that story before many a time. Not our first cantankery killed. Far from it, in fact. Bum, bum, bum. I wonder. So that's the thing that's making the sound all the time, but when it gets distorted, is there maybe a reason for that? Or is it just random chance? The fact that I'm far away is what's distorting it. I don't know. I don't know, Big Ben. I do not know. A giant has fallen? I assume this is the one you mean. Well, regardless. Moving along, getting more money. Always more money. Need more. Oh. That monitor again. Again, I should kill it, just for sport, and to see what happens. It's a temptation. Let me check something real quick. So, does it tell me how much time I have left on this? It does not. If I knew precisely the time, and I probably should have recorded what day it was we left, or started the race, and I would know precisely what time and if I had enough days to kill that thing, but for safety's sake, let's go to Rochester Club, get our money, and move along. Yes, this seems like a plan. Just a plan, not a good plan, not a bad plan, just a plan. And then we have the question of whether I want to spend my permits here, or if I want to spend them at the Clockwork Sun to release that prisoner there. I am uncertain at the moment. I suppose I can always come back to the Royal Society, and there's always profit there because of the Rochester Racing Club. However long that opportunity set lasts. You know, let's reveal some more of the map and go this way. We have an abundance of fuel and supplies, yes. Not really an abundance, but enough. Enough that risking this little venture isn't going to do much damage to us. Just a small bit. Your crew eye the surrounding cliffs, a tumble of scree rattles down them. Don't know what scree is. I feel like I've heard that word before, though, just like, you know, little pebbles and dust and refuse, I assume. Although, these look like mining implements of some kind. Curious. Curious. Well, regardless, moving up and along. Oh, what was the sound of that? Oh, that looks very crystalline. Looks killable. Oh right, you have that damnable turret. And an enemy to fire upon, interestingly. I'll let you do that. Oh! Cute, but no. Yeah, just take all that right into the hull. My distraction's dead, unfortunately. Blasted thing didn't last long enough. The deranged dreadnought's rabid aggression is stilled now. And I do need panes of glass. A partial success, I'll take it. Clouding your sky suits, you and several crew locate a wide section of glass contamination on the dreadnought's underbelly. But as you gingerly pry it free, hairline fractures begin to spread across it. The hull groans, your crew panic. Work faster, you're close, you can save a slab of the glass. You pry away a great sheet of it as the hull buckles and sends 1,000 knives of glistening glass razoring through your crew. Blood mists the sky. Another crewman lost. And more importantly, we have a dreadnought here to loot. Oh. These might be useful. The massive guns of the dreadnought have finally fallen silent. The hull hangs in the firmament like a shed spider skin in a web, viewed from the vantage of the fly. Its sides are scored and open, its windows shattered. Smoke billows from its blind eyes. London will not see what transpires here. Check the navigation suite. If the dreadnought kept secrets, they are here. Entirely legal. Perfection itself. The suite is upholstered in scarlet velvet and brass, like an opera box with artillery. Unused weaponry lines the wall, their shadows spilling over the empty glasses, strewn about the comfortable chairs and tables. Among a stack of papers, mostly tracking suspected criminals along secret routes, is a ministry permit for discretionary activities. Which in turn means I don't have to make a decision on what to spend my permits on. I can spend 1 here, and then 2 at the Clockwork Sun to release that prisoner. And it will be lovely. All will be well. I mean, all it did was cost me half my hull. So I can't really engage in any more combat, but I would say that was a fairly successful run? I don't know. Reasonably successful. Partially successful, I suppose. To use the game's terms. So do get that away from my screen, thank you. I have a standing invitation at the Rochester Club. Do you now, Auntie? Fascinating. What did she get up to get an invitation? You know what? I don't want to know. Actually, I actually do not wish to know. Also, is it just me or is my fuel consuming a lot quicker than it used to? It could be just the sheer amount of weight to us. Oh. Volunteering with a short-sighted professor. A short-sighted professor runs up to you at the docks. Intriguing. A short-sighted professor runs up to you at the docks. Where have you been? You're my new test subject, yes? Hurry up. Volunteer a crew member instead. There's always at least one standing around, not doing anything. Time passes. Your chosen crew member returns to the engine with a startled expression and with a slight limp. What happened? They try to explain. Occasionally, the explanation shifts into Flemish, a language that, until today, they didn't speak. For the best, really. The Celestial Expedition? I could donate things to it. I do not want to, though. Not now. The Royal Society... Oh, I suppose I should, but write a port report. If I remember right, success in this wandering does decrease terror, and I have an abundance of terror. That's probably going to increase it. Yes. Through the undergrowth, the Guardians were an early attempt by the Society to stamp their mark upon the sky. More interesting avenues for scientific exploration quickly presented themselves, however, and the Guardians were left to run wild, half-tamed. The overgrown gardens are beautiful but hazardous to the casual walker. You navigate the haha with admirable alacrity. The bronzewood maze is surmountable with the aid of string. You're bedeviled by the little gnomes that poke out of the reeds in the marsh. It's hours before someone comes to rescue you. A pity. Visit the mellifluous president. Do you have anything useful? You do not. Oh well, bid him goodbye for now. And Nell's Tower. The Queen's astronomers. Oh? Intriguing. Oh, I can choose. Interesting, I can choose different patrons should I wish. Huh. Curious. Here astronomers turn the vast steel telescope to the heavens and report on the movements of the stars. London is keenly invested in their findings. Deliver the chair in the effulgent sciences permission to move the telescope. You have paperwork from London that could plausibly justify her continuing her researches into distant stars. Although, I could also just observe the Clockwork Sun, and I am curious. London authorizes and encourages this use of the telescope. The Ministry has stamped permits for this particular usage up to the next century, the bursar informs you. And I'm curious. The state of the sun. The sun's rays wash over Albion from corner to corner like a pale tide. Its light waxes and wanes, sometimes burnished gold, sometimes gray gold as a parliamentarian's beard. Looking closer, you can see activity on the sun. Sporadically, it turns its terrible machinery spinning. Occasionally, it hits resistance and judders to a halt. Deliver the chair in the effulgent sciences permission to move the telescope. You have paperwork from London that could plausibly justify her continuing her researches into distant stars, and, having done so, to work. The ascent to this telescope is arduous, and up an improbable number of winding stone stairs. At the top waits the telescope, gargantuan and gleaming as a dragon slumbering in its lair. The chair pulls the machinery to open the dome to the heavens with visible glee. For a few moments she stands alone, looking up, bathed in distant starlight. And then she's at the telescope, blowing the great barrel until the lens is at her eye. Read your patron's latest reports. Over there, the bursar says through a mouthful of muffin. On the desk, for your perusal. Discoveries. A small measure of progress was achieved. I fixed the telescope firmly on the horizon, as I had indicated previously. Much must be left to speculation, but I believe there are commonalities with my observances at Port Avon. A different intent, for sure, but one must wonder for how long have our microscopic activities been under the lens of minds immeasurably superior to our own. Interesting. But I haven't seen previous reports from you. Okay. We will leave this be for... well, for now. I'm curious what that means. Yes, we've been observed by the... Judgements. Oh my god, we've been observed by the Judgements. And they somehow haven't killed us? Also, I was told that I could repair myself here. Talk to the engineers. Is the inscribed tinkerer, who I don't think can repair me? Nope. Maybe it's at the arsenal? No, I don't really see how I can repair my stuff here. Well, this is something I'm not seeing. Oh, but before we leave, the Rochester Club. Except if he... Ow! I was too late. Damn it, you've been soundly thrashed. A letdown. The careless deviless smiles as you enter the club. There, Pulpit, she says, patting you on the shoulder. As always next time. Her pockets jingle as she walks away. There are a few totes of commiseration before the members move on to more successful prospects. Well, that's some money lost. Pity. Wasn't depending on it, though, so doesn't greatly matter. Although, if I could get back in here real quick. Let me take 2 bits of fuel and move along. My own irresponsibility caused that. A shame, but, well, here we are. Still, my primary goal can be achieved. We just have to find a way out of here that leads me to the sun. Evidently this way, perhaps? Hopefully. Although you look like you would be some hidden thing, yes? Nope. Pity. I'm sorry, it's just In every other game, I look at that and I'm like, huh, that looks like it's a hidden path, and nope. We don't have those here. Kind of unfortunate, actually. We'd love a few more hidden shortcuts and such. McMaster's pen. This doesn't look like it's going the way I want it to go. This looks very much like it isn't going the direction I need it to go. In fact, it's going the opposite direction. That's annoying. Well, that being the case, let me find a way out of here and around into the Clockwork Sun, I guess. Or maybe if we were to go here and up and around, maybe? Possible. Let's find out. Let us discover more things and get out of this particularly dusty, deserted area. Like, desertification has happened at this area, not that it is abandoned by all life, because we know that is not the case. Is this where we saw that curator? No. No, although they did say it was their hunting ground. Mr. Menagerie said that this was their hunting ground. And that has me worried for the obvious reasons. Also, our terror has gone up again. Fairly high up at that. Oh, you look like you require a saying. Yep, a pity. Would be helpful to have a saying, apparently. Possibly more things that require a saying, but possibly not. We shall see, we shall see. We found our way between the two. The two being the Royal Society and the Clockwork Sun. At least we found the path. Let me go see what this grave thing is first, before we go and try to get to the sun. Oh, you look like you might be something abandoned. Oh, but you're a building abandoned. Oh. Curious, it looks like a part of the machinery up there. And you are a problem. A problem I'm not really geared to face. So if you're gonna not bother me, I'll just keep on going. We're untroubled for now. Could convert those nightmares. That is a huge thing of glass right there. And I see that you're following me, but I think you're gonna break off. Beautiful. Patience erodes, tempers fray. Getting angry, are we? Unwise, that. Oh, there's something grave this direction. Something wrong with the light. Ah, something else that requires a saying. Great. A decaying structure savaged by sunlight. Yeah, I see that. And I wish to go to the sun. I wish to see it. Ah. I see the thing that lies at the heart of you. And I wonder. Interesting. Dark, for the obvious reasons. I wonder if I could get to the heart of it. Oh? Scavenging with the dawn rats. A nervous face whispers to you from behind a bulkhead. A nervous face whispers to you from behind a bulkhead. Help us. We're brought here to build the Clockwork Sun. Lots of abandoned storerooms. Help us raid them and take your fill. Safety in numbers. The sun despises thieves, but its anger can't shine on all of us. Oh, that's unfortunate. But I gained supplies. A lot of supplies. Too many supplies. Not all of your crew returns. The survivors refuse to speak of what happened on their mission. They silently carry the supplies into the cargo hold, piling them into the deepest shadows. Intriguing. Go to the bazaar, sell our excess tea. A solitary foreman asks you to wheel the tea through the empty quarters to a storeroom. is stacked with identical, unopened, dust-covered crates. Either the Sun's engineers don't like tea, unthinkable, or there are fewer of them than is presumed. I'll take 1 crate of your munitions, though, thank you. Probably shouldn't have taken those, actually, but, well, what's done is done. To the Sun Spur. Yes. We've been here before, so I'm gonna skip through most of this. Write a port report. I'm sorry, wait. In response to your questions, the engineer shrugged. The day dawns, the sun brightens, the night comes, the sun dims. What more is there to say? Oh, I read this, the night comes, the sun dims, in a different tone. Visit the glass house? An isolated section of the abandoned exhibition hall has been repurposed to hold not treasures but prisoners. Each wears a gray smock rather than a protective suit, leaving them utterly undefended from the ravages of sunlight. They sit slumped in unlocked cells, making no effort to escape. Where would they go? Yes. Approach the half-glass empty. Only one cell is locked, and the man within is neither singing nor screaming. The left half of his body is shimmering, translucent. Only the flesh and muscle of his left hand has vitrified, not the bones and blood within. The glass is fused with 1,000 fine frozen capillaries, like delicate red cracks running through ice. He fixes you with an anguished stare. Get me out of here. And here we learn that he was a sun smuggler. And we agree to help the empty escape. A barely perceptible nod. The glass in his neck creaks. Deliver 3 Ministry-approved permits to the broken steward to secure the empty's release. Very well. Approach him. Assure him he'll soon be free. He musters a half-smile in response. Yeah, let's speak with these prisoners. Or we could generate more terror for ourselves, it's fine. Either scream or sing, you may not get anything halfway lucid from them. Scream and song. You sit beside a wild-bearded prisoner whose entire lower body has turned to glass, fixing him forever in a cross-legged pose. One crystalline hand, vitrified at the wrist, has been fused to his knee. He mumbles a half-coherent account of what he's seen happen to his fellow prisoners and what he fears will happen to him. Before he concludes his story, he breaks into a song, the high notes coinciding with pulses of sudden bright sunlight. Worrisome. Hurry away from this place. You've left them behind, so why do you still hear their songs? Descend to the Terpsichore vault. We have a discussion to have. Hello. Let's, speak. Really briefly. Yes. Pity that the sun has turned you into mostly glass at this point, but I have permits. 1 to authorize the release of the half-glass empty. 1 to authorize the authorization. A 3rd to confirm that the authorization has been authorized. Approved. The steward takes the permits, shuffles through them, then drops them straight into a waste paper bin. Seems to be in order, she says. I don't know why we're tasked with keeping prisoners here anyway. As far as I'm concerned, my job is to keep the bally lights on, not mess around in politics. Come on, I need to supervise releases personally, not that it's ever come up before. Her mouth is a grim line as she redons her helmet. With the occasional hiss of pain, she makes her way up to the surface. Oh, poor. Very well. Entering the glass house, the steward can only stare in horror at the state of the prisoners. Has she really been so isolated until now? The sun, she mutters, broken, hateful thing. Damn it. Silently, she unlocks the empty cell. Then she quickly turns to leave. You hear something shatter. She limps away, knee crunching, leaning heavily on her cane. Half his face is contorted with rage and grief and relief. The other half is impassive. Freedom. Thank you, says the freed prisoner. He pauses, struggling with himself, and then simply repeats, thank you. Shuffling awkwardly, partly assisted by your crew, the half-glass empty boards your train. Doesn't know where he wants to go yet, he says, just away. Could do, but before we do, head towards Azimuth. The engineers wave you onward, shouting something cheerfully derogatory about the sequencer. It's mostly lost in the roar of pistons. Yes, the sundial that they've made into, well, something of a... Oh, yes. Something of a temple to the sun. Deliver the well-intentioned package to Brabazon Workworld. I can do that. Yes, that whole matter of how to correctly tie a tie. What's your role here, just for the sake of our character knowing? Yes. Request access to this sun-shattered dome. Beyond Azimuth lies the maze of abandoned exhibition halls, crowned by a magnificent broken dome. A reluctant descent. The sequencer obviously takes his role as gatekeeper seriously. He fusses around you, checking you and your crew's gear, tugging on straps, checking for rips, wiping your stained glass goggles with a silk handkerchief. All the while he spouts an endless stream of warnings. Don't enter the Shalimar, never travel in a group of 3 or fewer, and resist the urge to sing no matter how fiercely your throat burns. And for sequence's sake, watch the condition of your suit. With that, he pats you on the back and hands you a brochure, and sends you through the heavy iron door to the dome. Yeah, that's a bit upsetting, the whole having one of your hands spot liver spots. Yeah. Well, we can attempt to navigate the bad patch, and we have pretty good chances. 50-50, so... Actually, better than 50-50, so it's great chances. Haha! An onslaught of hours. You guide your crew through the patch of lumpy time. I'm sorry, did I misread this? Exhibition halls built to accommodate sunspotter tourists and sequence pilgrims, and abandoned after the dangers of the sun became impossible to hide. Priceless paintings, hanging bleached rags, magnificent relics have been left to accumulate glittering glass dust. Is anything still intact? The stained glass sky has collapsed, and unfiltered sunlight gnaws savagely at your hazard suit. It's currently undamaged, though a little shabby. A scream, one of your crew is staring in horror at her hand, which has suddenly shriveled and sprouted liver spots. Light can do strange things to the flow of time, and you seem to have strayed into a bad patch. Fair enough. An onslaught of hours. You guide your crew through the patch of lumpy time. Careful, a spot where fallen shards from the ceiling have turned to sand. Here, watch your step. A discarded tourist pamphlet is still frozen mid-fall. There are a few missteps, but your hazard suit takes the brunt of it. Once everyone's through, you find yourself in an area of the dome untouched by previous explorers. A thorough search uncovers an intact exhibit. A shroud of fabric that even here ravenously consumes light. You hear one of your crew gulp. Now for the return journey. Or, counterpoint. Soon you stumble upon a gleaming forest of glass sculptures. As you get closer, you realize they were once tourists. From back when the exhibition was still open to the public. What were they clustered around? Whew, that seems like a terrible plan. Search elsewhere. It'll cost valuable time and entail greater risk, but treasure beckons around the next corner, you know it. Well, I'm in the same place. I have 3, I should be fine. Yes, this carousel. Wonderful. You come upon what looks like a glittering gold carousel, but instead of horses, it features glass bottles as tall as you. They're each filled with a near impenetrable liquid, and within, dark shapes writhe sluggishly. Perhaps you can deduce its purpose. It might hide something of value. Oh. Tempest Prognosticator. Each ball is similarly labeled Philosopher. You study the controls to no avail. You pull some levers at random and nothing happens. You attempt to pull one of the balls free, but it's moored far too firmly. Eventually, you're forced to give up and move on. The light has depraved these plants. The dials of the sequencer warned you away from here. Interesting. You find your path blocked by a tangle of bleached white foliage. The Shalimar garden exploded from its greenhouse long ago, feeding furiously on the sun's light until it swelled to a jungle. I have fairly good chances. But then I am risking this captain's life, so return to safety for now. We'll worry about that in the future. Right now, let's go over to the shop, the commissary. I don't really have exactly what I need. I need my fuel. Well, damn it, I'm gonna have to jettison another thing of supplies, and I don't want to. That makes me sad. Oh, very well. Toss them. Alright. And next episode, we're gonna be going back to London and hopefully finding out what exactly this half glass empty wants. I wonder, why is this symbol here now? Is something more damage to the sun? Still at 59, okay. I'm worried, though. Still, it's a matter for the future. For now, thank you for your time. Note the like, comment, and subscribe buttons below. Use them responsibly. And I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.